stop going to church because of a human being. Stop going to church, or rather, stop going to church here because of a human being number one, and stop. Hi guys, hi, good evening. So I think this is pretty much the first time I'm actually filming and talking at night. Sorry, I have to get real comfortable. All right, so guys, okay, something happened to me one time recently. Something happened. I was in a bind that I needed help, like I needed moral support. So like I was like, I've been praying for a long time for this, but it looked like there was a breakthrough coming through. Then all of a sudden it looked like nothing again, like everything just went back to zero. Do you understand? Ah God, I was so perplexed, I was so heartbroken. I wasn't blaming God. I was like, God, why me? Every time me. Like, okay, of late my friends I've been having a series of congratulations, like good things have been happening to them and for them. And to be very sincere, if I'm going to be honest, it's kept me very excited. I won't even going to lie. It's kept me very excited because one thing I do is that I pray for my friends. So yeah, in as much as I have a very intimate circle, like very few friends, but those ones, even the ones that like sometimes I feel like maybe we are not as connected or as deep as we used to, but while I'm praying, if I should even mistakenly omit that one person, I don't have peace of mind. Like a mind will still be telling me, still put up this person in prayer. So I will pray for them. Lately, like I said, testimonies, good news. Like it's kept me excited and kept me real expectant, if I should say so. Then, but something happened recently, and I was like, God, I don't understand. What about me? What's up? Why you not reasoning my matter? And I'm someone that normally I don't get really bothered about a lot of things, to be very sincere. I'm someone that I know how to strengthen my own self, and then like when it's too much, I find a way to actually go back and join within myself. Even if I'm tired, like spiritually, I go back and I find a way. Like I don't know, it becomes less routine for me. It becomes more of a spiritual, like me understanding that okay, this is God, this is Jesus, he's my friend, he's my brother, he's my father, he's everything to me. So it becomes a time of conversation and not necessarily a time of like, you know, just prayer and routine and all that. No, prayer is very essential. Then a heart told me, why do you forget easily? Then I said, my heart started bringing out scenarios of several times that I asked God for things and he came true. Things that I prayed for. In fact, things that I prayed for years ago, I lived through the answers. Like I lived through my testimonies, and it didn't work out to me that was what I was living through. And I was excited and I was happy and I was grateful, but I didn't remember anymore that there was actually a time that I actually prayed for this thing. And now even my friends, even these friends that are calling me and giving me testimonies, there were times that I actually prayed for. Like everything they're telling me about now, there were times I prayed for it, and now they are here, you know. I mean, that should be enough to encourage me and tell me that actually Jesus is in my neighborhood. So now I'm relating it to all of us now. Normally as human beings we have what I call selective amnesia, spiritual amnesia. Like we tend to forget, like when a problem comes facing us, we tend to forget the several times that God saw us through similar situations or even worse situations and we came out victorious. We tend to forget that. We go back to square one and we start asking God, we start bothering, we start worrying, we start complaining, we start even I don't know, distancing ourselves from Him. See, prayer is very important. In fact, it's even that time you're tired of praying that you should pray more. Oh yeah, trust me, I'm a living witness. That time you're tired of praying, that is the time you should pray more. That time you don't feel like raising your voice or opening your lips. It might not necessarily be a prayer of like kabashin. I believe in kabashin. It might just be you coming to talk to God for a second, like speaking to Him from your heart. Just talk, but make sure you are praying. Make sure you pray. That time your heart tells you what's the need, what's the point, the ones you've been praying, what has happened. Or that time your heart tells you, why are you praying? Where is the strength? Or that time you have spiritual PTSD and you're like, okay, but I actually prayed for this, or I've been praying for this consistently for a long time. There's something that and no answers. So I'm a member of NSPPD. I'm an NSPPDM, you understand? So usually I would go on the altar and I would pray. So the initial time I started on NSPPD, like I would, Papa would preach or say something, and that day, like that 1 hour, 2 hours, I get it. So staying longer at the altar, it was looking like my prayer was taking longer time to get answers. So it had started telling me, what are you doing here? With my hair? Why not go back? And what are you doing here now? Maybe the grace or the I don't know, anointing or something is reducing. Go back, Joe. Go and find a way to sort yourself out. And then for a while I stopped NSPPD. But eventually, when I went back to NSPPD, I wasn't going anymore for what I was going to get. I wasn't going anymore for necessarily what I like answers to prayers immediately. I was just going back because there's this strength that comes from praying there. So that was my main reason. And the truth is that I went back, it didn't change anything. It didn't like start giving me answers immediately. I wasn't getting my answers immediately. I wasn't like, as the way I was thinking, or the way I know, like, the way they welcome the prodigal son, in the Bible. I wasn't getting that. But I stopped there, I stayed there. Some days, even if I don't join, whenever I join, I pray with all my heart. I'm like, I know that all these prayers, like, just like a bank, just like you have your worldly banks, I know it's being stored somewhere. Because when God starts answering it, using my life, like, it's good to know yourself spiritually. When God starts answering them, I know I might forget, because the answers must have piled up, or the prayers must have piled up to give me a very big testimony or series of testimonies back to back to back to back. Know yourself spiritually. Know your pattern spiritually. Know who you are spiritually. How does God answer you? How does it happen in your life? If you can know this pattern, if you're able to study this pattern, then it's going to be very easy for you. Like, it's going to be very hard for you to forget who you are spiritually, or to forget your journey with God spiritually. Do you understand? Like, if you know that you're that kind of person that when you pray and you fast, or when you're consistent, or when you put in work, like I mean like service to God, I mean like either you're in a department in church or you are evangelizing or something, when you know you're that kind of person, and that is how God answers you faster, keep doing that. Sometimes these things are actually the actual keys and solutions to some of the problems we go through, or some of our unanswered prayers. Like sometime in 2012, you understand, 2012, 2013, I went back to church. I was like, God, that was crossover January. I was like, I made a decision. I was like, God, I'm going to go back to choir. And when I go back to choir, I'm going to give it my all. Yeah, I know that church somehow disappointed me. Like, people in church kind of disappointed me at some point, but I'm not going to church because of these people anymore. I want to come to you. I want to know you. I want to grow. I want to learn humility. I want to learn to be submissive under authority, whether the authority is fun or not. I just help me, Lord. And God, in return, like, I am dedicating my getting admission into this. I'm dedicating my entering university into this, because I've written JAM like I think 2 times prior to that prayer. So that year was tough, trust me. It was as if I was the person everybody was picking on. I was always like the center of every like correction or negative reports and everything. And sometimes I will be corrected in public, like in the presence of other workers. And when normally I run that some like I cannot tolerate disrespect for any reason. But when it would come and the first reaction for me would be to, say something, I'll hold back myself and be like, take the correction. If anything itself, I would kneel down or I would even apologize. Because it was not about the person talking to me, it was not about me, about my own growth. It was about me making sure I kept my own side of the covenant to God. I would relax, I would calm down, I would melt, and I would take the correction. And then I realized that afterwards, the pain or the initial hurt that I felt from maybe putting in effort and getting reprimanded would cease, and I would feel lighter. That was how it used to happen to me. Guys, I won't even lie to you. See that year? That year, concerning my admission, a lot of things happened. But that was the same year I got admission. On merit. I did not go to anybody. God gave me admission, my course of choice, on merit. So this is encouraging someone out there. How does it work for you? How has God been? Like every lesson in life is meant for something. Every lesson you go through. See, life is just a big school. Life is just a very big school. If you go through your life and you don't learn the lessons that every situation brings to you, you're not ready. You will keep repeating that exam. But if you understand that every situation is a lesson and an exam will be taken on it, it helps you to navigate and overcome certain things. For example, if God is trying to teach you a lesson on humility, or a lesson on patience, or a lesson on tolerance, and for every time you're flipping out or every time you're letting your pride dictate to you, you would remain in that lesson till you learn it, because that lesson on humility is necessary for your future. God needs you to have that lesson for your future, for you to be better. Yes. Oh God, this video is taking longer than I actually planned. But God needs you to do that. God needs you to have that lesson, to learn that lesson for your future to be better. God needs it for you. And you need it for you. That is your key to move on to the next level. Christianity is not really so hard. Once we start seeing or understanding that our Christianity and our answers to our prayers are not necessarily tied to just our churches, our pastors. When we start making room for them, because they are also human beings, when we start making room, like extending a hand or grace to them, understanding that this person is a human being and he or she is not infallible. You understand? When we start making room, we will stop judging God. We'll stop judging the church, because the church is not just a structure. The church, according to Ephesians, is not just a structure. The church is the bride of Jesus. The church is the people Christ died for. Not that building you're seeing, not that denomination you know, not Anglican, not Catholic, not Pentecostal. The church is you. The church is me. And if Christ has extended the grace to us, even us, with us being the most, personally, when I look at myself, am I worth dying for? If Christ could extend that grace to me, then who are you not to extend it to someone else? So stop going to church because of a human being. Stop going to church, or rather, stop going to church here because of a human being, number one. Don't stop going to church because of a human being either. Don't say, I'm not going to church because my pastor did this to me. I'm not going to church because a worker was gossiping me. I'm not going to church because that was my... I'm not going to church because of... Oh God, you're doing yourself. Because if the Bible has said it is this, your opinion does not matter. If the Bible has said, don't do this, your opinion does not matter. If the Bible said, do not forsake the gathering of brethren, and you say you want to stay in your house, and you say you're serving God, I don't know what you're doing. It's left to you and God. It's not my place to tell you. The Bible is not lying, especially if you're a Christian. But if you're not a Christian, by all means disregard all this. So you guys, let's quit having spiritual amnesia. Do not let another person cost you your blessings. Don't let another person's mistake cost you your joy. And then don't forget all God has done for you. Learn that lesson. Learn that lesson. You will learn. Because one way or the other, you will learn. Learn the lesson. Okay? Or the key, or that shift you need from where you are to the next place is that lesson you've not learned. You need to learn that lesson. You need to have spiritual remembrance. You need to stop having spiritual PTSD. Okay guys, please, at this point, I don't know whether I should even say you should subscribe, because this message has been in my heart and I feel so much lighter for, putting it out there. So guys, subscribe. This section has never happened, but I think these sections are not bad. My sections will not be bad, Please guys, subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, I love you. And if you're a Christian, keep being a Christian. Let your light shine so bright that the next person will be glad to say that they met Christ through you. And yes, of course, no one is perfect. So as long as you're working on your imperfections, I think that's what all that really matters to God. And if you're yet to meet Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I won't say you're missing, but I'm not going to judge you on that. I think you should try him out. He brings peace. Trust me, the world is so chaotic right now, but there is peace that Jesus brings. Like, he definitely has your ears. He said, even if the world should say there's a casting down, you yourself will say there's a lifting up. That's all. Alright guys, till the next video. See ya!